Hey Kirsten, so here is your recipe. So this is called Mazurek z masą cytrynową, means Mazurek, which is that type of cake with a lemon topping. So here is your shopping list. You need 2 egg yolks. You need 6 DAG of powdered sugar, like icing sugar. You need 30 DAGs of flour. I usually use a Polish baking flour, but if you use just a regular white flour, not whole wheat, that should work. And 25 DAGs of butter. I will find you a conversion method just so you know how to convert things, because Poland does not use the cup or spoon method. Okay, here's what you need for your topping. You need 1 to 1.5 of lemons, because again, depends on the size. If you get a bigger one will do. If not, get 1.5, because you will use both the juice as well as the skin. If you don't want to use the skin, because who knows where the lemons came from, I have a lemon skin that's dried. Not sure if you have some in your house. As well as you will need 1.5 spoons of regular sugar, 20 DAGs of butter, 20 DAGs of powdered sugar, and you need whipping cream, but the liquid whipping cream that's at least 30%. So here is what you're gonna do. You first have to make the dough. So you take all the ingredients that we talked about at first. So the 2 yellow egg whites, the powdered sugar, the flour, as well as the butter, and you make a dough. Once you make the dough, and again, you gotta use cold butter. So the way you're gonna do it is, I sometimes use a cheese grater. I grate the butter into my flour to make it, because this has to be almost like a French dough. So it's gotta be very finely chopped, but it's gonna come together. Once you make your cake, you're gonna put it in the fridge so it can rest. In the meantime, you need to find a baking dish that's about 23 by 31 centimeters. You need to smear it, the bottom of it, with butter, just because that's where the cake's gonna bake. And probably within half an hour or so, you can put the dough inside of your baking pan. And once you put it in, you take your fork and you actually poke it, making little holes, so again that cake can breathe, because that cake, because of the contents of the butter, is going to be nice and buttery, but it needs to have a way for air to escape. And that way, there's going to be no air bubbles, because you don't want an air bubbly cake. It needs to be hard and dense. You're going to bake it in 200 to 220 Celsius until it is golden in color. So again, don't put the cake in until that oven has reached, I say go with that 200 Celsius. We can always keep it there a little bit longer, because I find some of our ovens are super strong. If we put it in too high, it's going to burn on the outside, not on the inside. So that's your cake part. Now you're going to make the topping, because we are making this cake. Okay, you need to take your butter and you're gonna mix it with the sugar. So again, chop up that butter or grate it. And again, not salty butter, regular butter. Do not use margarine, because it will not turn out. You mix it with the sugar and you start slowly heating it up. So once the sugar and the butter are incorporated, you're gonna add the cream. The problem sometimes happens is if the cream's too cold and the butter's too hot, you're gonna create almost like a oily substance. So maybe keep the cream out of the fridge while you're prepping the dough, so it's more warmer room temperature. And then sorry, I'm trying to retranslate and do it. Okay, and then at the end, you can add a little bit of that lemon juice that we talked about, because you needed the juice, you needed that came with that sugar. So sorry, this lemon because again the instructions suck here, you have to squeeze out this entire lemon. So it's a lemon and a half that you're going to squeeze out. You're going to take out all the little pellets that you don't want inside there, and you add a spoon and a half of sugar that you mix in. Okay, sorry. And then when you're making this nice and hot, I'll walk you back to the front. So you first mixed your butter with your sugar, warmed it up. At the end, you add the cream that's room temperature. And then you add that sugar lemon mixture super duper slowly. So I would add only a little bit at a time, mix it in, make sure that's taking in, and then add more because that's super acidic. You want to keep mixing it until it's like almost like a funky see-through glaze. Once that is done, you're gonna put it. I'll be right there. Mommy's just gonna finish the video. Once your cake has cooled, you can pour this lemon concoction on, and then you can decorate any way you want. And what she decorated here is she just melted some regular chocolate, and then she just drizzled it on top. I know almond slivers are almost always on Easter cakes, so we can make a little like a flour pellets, and then you can do the chocolate, or just write Wesołych Świąt, which was, I will spell you Wesołych Świąt, so you will know how to write that. Anyways, hope this makes sense. I'll send it over. Let me know. Okay, bye.